Hi.
Talking to you.
Sorry, I had my headphones in. What?
Well, A, you want to lift, and B, you got the second.
Yes and yes. You know, I was gonna say something about the chrome on this, but with the matte black it works.
Honestly,
That's
it's
the
weird.
that's the only reason it works though, I think, is the matte black is what breaks it up.
Yeah,
It's like
adding a
a
little texture.
futuristic, like cyberpunk it's fucking yeah.
Yeah, it adds like a little texture, a little
Yeah.
flavor to
And
what
I
would
think
otherwise
that's
look cheap and
yeah,
fake.
exactly, that's it. Otherwise it looks cheap and fake, but this looks like it looks like, you know how like in I guess the good thing is like I'm guessing you've seen Black Panther, right? You know how like the car companies, I think it was Lexus in that or whatever, shoved in their new car. That's what this makes it look like. The like futuristic concept for like a new car or something that's been shoehorned into a movie.
That's actually a fair comparison. I got to give you that.
And I can get with that. But yeah, that's the only reason it works is the matte black 100%. All right, now to you.
So
What's up?
really just wanted to ask a question or two, if you don't mind.
Yeah, absolutely.
How many people would you say in this city are civil and really give the police the time of day when there's a situation going on?
Please tell me you're kidding with me, right, Raja?
I'm not. No, it's an honest question.
I could count on one hand.
Okay. Would you count me one of those people?
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say that.
Okay. So, can I ask then why you went out of your way to set the doctor after me?
I didn't go out of my way to set anyone after you, Raja.
You told them I snitched on him. That's a pretty powerful accusation.
That's not at all what I said.
Then what did you say?
It was, I pointed him in a direction. He asked how I knew his full name and identity. And I simply said, you should look at Quick Fix.
That's the same as telling him
I
it
don't
was
think
me.
so, Raj. You're not the only one who works at Quick Fix, are you?
No, I'm not the only one there, but I'm probably the only one who knew him.
That's why I called you. You realize that, right?
Yeah, you also said I had 24 hours to deliver what you wanted,
Because
and I didn't even get that long before he came after me.
I don't... Raja, I didn't know he was going to do shit to you, but I knew that he most likely wasn't going to be too happy with you. And that's why I called you. And that's why I let you know that I wouldn't be the one coming after you. And whether you interpret that of a threat or however you may have analyzed that, then so be it. But one, I did not order a hit out on you through the doctor. And two, I had no intention to actually do anything towards you. Like I said that day, we have a mutual relationship. I simply needed to warn you under the veil of a threat, which I presumed someone with your sort of intelligence would be able to understand.
As vague as you were being, there's a lot of different ways to understand it. But I will say the warning was enough that I'm still alive despite his best efforts.
And again, I didn't expect him to come directly after you like that.
All I'm saying is, if if we ever do have a conversation again in the future, I feel like turning around and immediately pointing fingers my way is not really... It doesn't quite sit right. You know what I'm saying?
I agree, Raja, because it backfired on me as well.
How so?
Well, he has Bovice.
And he is not handing him over, I take it.
Not at the moment. Sadly for him, I think I got a pretty good idea what's gonna get to him. But I know he's also been ill. So I'm gonna give him some leniency. I give him a little bit more of a chance to hand him over before I have to act on it. My intention was never to have you harmed, Roger. It was a simple, small exchange of information. But it seems we've both been burned.
Well, I might have got a little bit roughed up in the process, but I'm no worse for the wear.
It seems...
One of my close associates ended up getting shot up, though. I'm not too happy about that.
You know anything about the Bondi boys?
I do, but the word snitch is a really dirty word.
They don't seem to be in the best shape. From what I've gathered from them, is it somehow relates back to this.
So I can't really tell you whole much, or I can't.
No,
tell you
I
a whole
don't.
lot
I don't expect you
because
to.
of,
No, I don't expect you to. But your
I
acknowledgement
can
of
tell
it
you-
answers everything I needed to know.
Acknowledgement of what? Knowing about the Bondi boys dissolving?
Their situation, yeah.
Yeah.
It means you're aware
Yeah.
and up to date and probably know what I know. Most likely a little more.
That's a fair assessment. I will say that that was more than likely a result of your setting two forces against each other in the first place. I want you to know one thing about me, Raven. Regardless, whatever else you think of me, whatever you think you have on me, all of the above, at the end of the day, there's one thing I don't do. I don't play games with other people's lives, and I don't watch innocent people get hurt. And I feel like in this case, you are really skirting close to that.
And that is where we vary, Raja. That is where our two paths that may be parallel before then depart. I served in the Middle East before I came to Los Santos. I commanded plenty of people. Sadly, in the art of war, people die, innocent people. But, at the end, they're pawns that have to be sacrificed.
I don't sacrifice people, Raven.
And, don't take this the wrong way, ultimately, that may be your flaw. And where you fall.
You're probably not wrong. I've said many times that my end in the city will likely come from someone I trust. And probably
such is
someone I
life.
was too nice to get rid of.
Sadly, in our position, such is life, and it wouldn't surprise me. I went soft, I got married, I've got a kid. It all comes back in the end. You just have to be willing to make the sacrifices while you can, until it does happen. It's inevitable. The end is always there.
You want to know the sad part? If it meant stopping a pair of monsters from hurting people in the city, I would have given myself up. I don't mind being the sacrifice if I have to.
You're not what I want, Raja. The doctor's not what I want. You all serve a purpose, whether it be through the funneling of illegal items. It doesn't faze me. You are an important part of a hierarchy. You are the top, and that is not where you start. You work your way up that ladder. You start from the top, and someone else more vicious and more ruthless and who won't make the same mistakes will replace you. You have a mutual benefit to a situation. You can work together.
An interesting theory.
We may
Might
not
have some credence
get
to it.
along. And we may do things that the other will dislike and may get the other hurt or etc. But at the end of the day, at some stage we'll always have a mutual goal that we can work towards together.
And what might that be?
I'm just saying in general, Raja, that
True
right
enough.
now I have no intentions for you. You haven't done enough to worry about my radar, at least. Like I said, however you interpreted what I called you the other day, it was truly to warn you that someone may be after you.
You know, you said we do things that might get each other hurt, but I can guarantee you the day that four men in masks run up and grab you, it won't be me that sent them. I don't operate that way.
No, Raja, I know it may not be you directly, but it may be someone who you helped or somewhere. At the end of the day, just like myself, everything funnels back to us one way or another. I mean, look at this situation. Look at how it's ended. Look at everything that happened. Sadly, Bondi boys seem to have been caught in the crossfire. They weren't my target. I had no issues with Erwin. He was a pain in my side, but again, every now and then, we had some mutual interests. And Raja, you may think what you think. People may think it's corrupt or whatever, but at the end of the day, if there are mutual interests, I'm going to put aside our differences and I'm going to work towards that common goal. What is right may not always be done the right way. You have to take liberties in this job. And that's why I am where I am. That's why I was where I was previously, as the head of CID. You don't get into that position by following a rule book to the exact way it's written. You get to that position by working in a gray zone. Plausible deniability from those around you, so if anything happens, you're the only one who takes the fall.
You know, if I didn't have gloves on right now, you'd see on the back of my hand a symbol, yin and yang, white and black, balance in all things. My life is pretty gray too sometimes. I don't really think of myself as the bad guy.
No, I wouldn't if I were you.
Everyone that I have crossed paths with in this city, I've just gone out of my way to help and protect as best I can. I'm just see it through a different lens than you do, maybe.
That's the difference, Raja. Is when it comes down to it, I know to the people that I'm the villain. I know who I am from their perspective. But I see myself as a commander, a general in a time of war. Someone strong who's willing to sacrifice what needs to be sacrificed and do what needs to be done. I'm currently going head to head with an entire district of my city on the south side of the Olympic Freeway. And they might not see it. They might see me as going down there disrespecting them and just kicking in their doors, but they don't understand the seeds I'm planting in their members with the manipulation of other civilians. Sadly, war is not a front you can just fight head on. There are lots of angles you need to take to be successful. And there will be casualties, whether good or bad, for example, the Bondi boys. Although they weren't the intended target, were caught in crossfire, it is one less thing I need to worry about. And that was sorted all through a simple phone call. My point is, Raja, as long as we have mutual interests, and you do a service for the city, although it may not be agreeable about what you actually do or what you do push, it is an important service. Because like I said, without you, someone who's level-headed, who will sit down and talk with me, who is going to take it? Someone that they put in, who they believe is going to be more ruthless, and not take the shit that you did, and think that it's won through head-on activity and will just cause more chaos. That is how this city needs to operate, on mutual bases. We may not all like each other, we may not all agree with what each other does, but at the end of the day, if we have the most level-headed individuals at the top who are willing to sit and talk, things will be smoother for everyone involved without anyone even knowing it happened.
You're definitely right about one thing. If you ever do get rid of me, you'll end up with a real monster in my place. And the city will be far worse off for it.
I'm happy you came to me, Raja. I'm happy we could talk about this.
Just do me a favor. Don't point any other people in my direction, because at the end of the day, it's not me that gets hurt when you do that. Oh, actually, another favor. Catch that monster already, before he kills anyone else.
I was about to say, the condition that I won't worry about you for a while is that I get to kill the doctor. His death is mine. A man of his word who betrayed his trust to one of the most powerful individuals in the city is not a smart man. Especially when he knows everything about him is already exposed to me. And so I will take him, and I will most likely take his life.
How do you know he already has Bovice?
He told me. But he told me on the premise that he's not done with him yet. So my best guess is they're chained up in some nice little shed in the middle of nowhere, playing cards. Arthur has no reason to work with the doctor. With Bovice after everything that's happened. But I guess this is his own way of getting out whatever frustrations he has. Which is a betrayal of what he told me. That was not the deal. And I only allowed his existence per the deal. So now it has to be ended, as well as Bovice. Which is a shame. Arthur was a good tool, and I would have liked to be able to put that to further use.
If and when you get what you want, I want to watch.
That can be arranged.
Actually, I think I'll just have you walk from here. This just doesn't seem like a great time to be heading in or out of that building.
Thank you, Raja. And I do owe you, alright, an apology, most likely a favor, for what I did to you.
It's in the past now. Be safe at work, Chief.
You yourself, Raja.